Hello guys, welcome back to the Inception. So today I'm gonna be talking about a very important concept, which is the pillar for my strategy, and this is the liquidity. So as some of you have been DM me and ask me about what is liquidity. You always talk about this liquidity in your videos. So today I'm gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna try to explain in simple terms so that you can understand as well what I mean by liquidity. So in general terms, we can say that liquidity is any order which can be, for example, a buy limit, a sell limit, or even a buy stop and a sell stop. So this is the first kind. Then we can say that apart from this, liquidity is any stop loss that we can recognize. And I would say the last one is any possible open position. So these are the three kind of liquidity I will say I use in my trading. So talking about these three types of liquidity, I'm gonna give you a couple of examples. So for example, what I mean by buy limit, sell limit, and buy stop and sell stop liquidity. So if we have, for example, this kind of structure right here, we're gonna have liquidity on the highs. So here, but at the lows as well, which means what? If someone has got a buy stop in this area here, as soon as price is gonna reach this area, his buy stop is gonna get activated, and therefore we're gonna have liquidity injected in the market. Liquidity which can be used for the market makers to mitigate their orders, for example, in this area, and then move price lower. In the other hand, we can have stop loss. So for example, in the same case scenario where these guys are taking a short position from this level, for example, so let's say they are taking a short, they're gonna have a stop loss below the previous low. So that's another type of liquidity here. So maybe price is gonna reach both of these liquidities, this level and this level, before actually moving in the downside. And this is something we need to factor in when we take a trade. That's why we always need to have some liquidity to enter the market. If there is no liquidity, most likely we are gonna be the liquidity that fuels the move. Another type of liquidity is the position liquidity. So for example, let's say that we have a trend line here and many traders are taking position at these levels. So they're taking position at these levels. Maybe all the stop loss are gonna be here. So who is taking this position are gonna have the stop loss here. Who is taking this position is gonna have the stop loss here, and so on. So this is gonna be liquidity in this case. Because as soon as market requires some liquidity, it's gonna grab it from these spots to then fuel the move. Most likely, we're gonna have a major, let's say, area here where price is gonna create liquidity to take out all the retail traders. So grab even more liquidity and then to move higher. This is the types of liquidity. Of course, there are, many different forms. It's not like you're gonna see always the same types. But now I'm gonna show you like a simple, let's say, type of liquidity that I recognize, and I can share with you. So for example, in this case, I don't know why this chart is like this. So okay, I show you some of my charts. So for example, this liquidity here for me is created because most of the times price has been rejecting this area, so most people are likely shorting already. This gap here means there is enough liquidity in this area, for example, to fuel a possible move, something like this. So all this liquidity is gonna be grabbed, you know, and this area is going to be respected because we have enough liquidity to fuel the move. Instead, in a different scenario, like for example, in this case, if I want to take, let's say, a long position, I don't have any liquidity here that supports the value of this area. So I'm going to likely wait price to either, you know, do some confirmation here, some liquidity grab, etc., or take out the liquidity from the low and then move higher. So that's the concept of liquidity. Most of the times, you know, it's a complex concept, and that's why it requires a lot of practice. And in the overtime, you're gonna be like more confident to recognize liquidity at every level of the market. But this was just a simplistic lesson just to show you the way I identify liquidity and what I mean by liquidity every time I talk about it. So I hope you got some value from this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.